giver was found to exiles. The long drift eroded our spirit of eons. Our catch was poisoned by ether hunger and treachery. The just went us to its dark matter. And inside, discovery of the voice invisible. Words of mind alone. The power to speak as one. And in Giver's Reach, we also found Ionians. For many lives, we shared discovery. The ways of dark matter open to all. Integration and ether life for our house. Then came the Deathless Warriors. From beyond.
All right, Guardian, this has to be the house's power plant. There's a massive current moving through the cables around us. And gravitons.
My informant Keels tells me that power is going straight into a warship.
If we can get to a power plant's controls while it's charging their ship, we can send a lethal surge to it from here before it ever leaves port.
Crafty. And it'll buy time to hunt down the Strangelet capsule in the Accord. If we stop the singularity from expanding, stabilize Kepler, maybe they'll stand down.
A fat chance we talk a psycho like that off a ledge. He's a true believer in whatever psychos believe in.
They aren't leaving us many options. We need to reach the anomaly.
Deathless, why have you come? Glimpses are seen of your actions, but your motive ever shrouded. When my house found Saul, saw the great machine with your world, we left in defeated peace.
Guardian down. Guardian down. It looks like this station is actually drawing some form of power from these native cyto colonies. So, the slimes are their generators?
This whole place is wired like a rat's nest. That's worse than my ship.
The Deathless was foretold. See how they must kill as prophesied? Giver Sight warned me of this final test. I will be resilient, my house.
Look alive, hero. They're piping in splinter mines. Crazy sons of crabs are gonna cause a damn cave-in.
You're on bomb defusal, Guardian.
Lavast sure likes to talk, making a show of us barging into his house. Maybe we pull his moxie out from under him and he lets some intel slip.
Unless he sees that coming. All this prophecy talk. Back in my day, you kill a fella fair without knowing the future.
You think he's really clairvoyant? Okay, Guardian, we need to find a way to overload that control panel.
Once we do, the immense surge of current will wreak havoc on whatever warship the house is trying to power up.
Probably why they tried to blow us up. I guess they're trying to unplug. We should hustle up.
Like vile Vex, the Deathless is violence driven. They cannot be turned away by reasoned words. Only blood.
Mighty Archon, we hear your prophecy. The Deathless kneels before the Giver with your blessing. Just open the way.
Will what now?
This was not our tricks. You conspire with metal invaders to keep us from the Giver. To draw our house into folly. Most devout Basilisk, your work is done. Bring these walls down on the Deathless. Show your Archon true faith. This world was
What's your next plan? Stand there with the guns pointed at each other until someone gets cold feet?
So the Archon didn't take the bait, but he mentioned being kept from the Giver. Sounds like, despite their push to the Singularity, something's still cutting them off from it. That means we don't have to rush right in unless they make a move. Maybe there's somewhere else we can apply pressure.
You're a kid. Those things been shooting at you since you landed on this dump, and you still haven't pulled your piece.
That's right. Unlike you, I don't prefer a gun to solve my problems when questions work just as well.
Enough! We may have knocked out their power, but the Archon's still out there. We'll need to be ready when they make their next move.
You sure your informant ain't running us around in circles, Square?
Kielsk is risking a lot just to speak with me. And I vetted them, of course.
Yeah, you're probably right. All those ones that tried to kill us are just bad apples.
People aren't all one way or another. That's what makes this interesting.
I've been talking to that Drifter fellow. Not a name I'd self-apply, but I like him. He understands what it's like to be stranded far from home. Anyway, he was telling me about these aliens who are giving the Ionians such a hard time, the Elixni. Apparently, they normally live on something called ether. Huh. Seems like you already have some experience with it. Interesting. The locals say these Elixni augment their supply with dark matter. Who knows what physiological effects that's having. Might be the reason they're so hostile. I suggest you assess their production lines. If we learn how the dark matter is affecting them, it might give us some leverage.
got some intel from my informant.
Informant? Well, well. First it's a contact, then it's an informant. They're taking a liking to you.
Maybe a way to help the house calm down and see straight again. I'm sending coordinates, but keep on that heading.
Lodi, Drifter, checking in. How goes your recon on the House of Exile?
The Guardian's handling the situation well, but Miss Ray, to be honest, I don't like this. There has to be a way to de-escalate the situation.
I wouldn't be so sure about that. I've been watching the house from the derelict, and they are one ruthless group.
Do they appear to be in league with the Conductor? That would tell us something at least.
Not sure who that is. I have to believe this Archon is a lone actor. Guardian, Mr. Ghost, you should be nearing a refinery or some kind of drilling operation. Coordinates incoming. I think this is where they're processing their ether. Maybe we can disable their machinery until the Ionians can correct the process.
Okay, I see it from up here. Derelict scanners are picking up all sorts of weird gravity fluctuations, and a whole heck of a lot of exiles.
Guardian, I have an incoming transmission. Patching it through.
I have the Ionian Dean here. She sends her greetings. I'll relay your messages to her and translate what I can of her response. Whatever is in there is dangerous, but precious to them. It's been out of reach.
Guardian down. Orin says these trains are like quantum-entangled objects, held in superposition across the fourth dimension. We're through. Now to disable the Exile's dark matter refinery.
I wish it was as simple as talking to them. Last time I tried, I got shot at. And it wasn't my Lixney accent.
They get real touchy sometimes. Sensitive little crustaceans.
Lodi, did the Ionians ever explain why they stopped working with the House of Exile? From what I gathered, it didn't end well.
I got to talking with one of the old pilots who gabbed on the subject a bit. Ionians tried to synthesize ether for the house.
Why? That's not a simple job. Leave it to those servitor garbage disposals. Matter goes in, ether comes out. Easy.
Except here, everything's imprinted with dark matter, which they apparently want to extract for a pure conversion to ether.
That's it!
Sick, but I am mighty. Exile is our teacher, our home. Our rifles are many. Our will is anointed by the giver.
Guardian, it's supercharging the cannon. This is the house's central refinery. My scans are going a little haywire, but that can't be right. These pipes are operating at alarming pressure.
Let me fill you in on a little secret. None of House Exile's gear has safety regulators. My kind of people.
Hey team, I've seen those little flying bots play hot potato delivering dark matter down to your proximity.
I have an idea. Guardian, a concentration of dense matter could send the whole system over the edge. Let's look for those shanks. You were right, Lodi. This scans like dark matter, wrapped around an artificial gravity well.
Sounds like the type of thing that'd make a nice loud rattle inside some heavy machinery, don't it, Hero? Oh, don't worry if it doesn't fit. Just jam it in there.
Pressure's increasing, but the pipes are still holding. We need more.
Incoming Exiles. Crack your knuckles and rack your slides.
I was hoping it wouldn't come to this, but they seem intent on a fight. Their leader doesn't sound like he's crazed or confused. He has an agenda and a voice to wield it.
Seen a lot of those types in my time.
Maybe we could still reason with them. Lavask, the House of Exiles and the Ionians used to be allies. Don't turn your back on that. Let's look for a solution. Together.
Fool scholars hold our ascension for their distant study. No! We will feel the giver, drink of it, enter its horizon!
It's barely holding together. One more, Guardian.
Protect our ascension!
Well now, that went, great.
It did. We learned the house centers around this giver. Watch your flank, Guardian.
You feed their greed, speak their human lies. Ionians want us truth blind, to keep the anomaly's sight from Elixni eyes.
This is the house's central refinery. My scans are going a little haywire, but that can't be right. These pipes are operating at alarming pressures.
Let me fill you in on a little secret. None of House Exile's gear has safety regulators. My kind of people.
Hey team, I've seen those little flying bots play hot potato delivering dark matter down to your proximity.
I have an idea. Guardian, a concentration of dense matter could send the whole system over the edge. Let's look for those shanks. You were right, Lodi. This scans like dark matter, wrapped around an artificial gravity well.
Oh, don't worry if it doesn't fit. Just jam it in there.
Pressure's increasing. The pipes are still holding. We need more.
Incoming exiles. Crack your knuckles and rack your slides.
I was hoping it wouldn't come to this, but they seem intent on a fight. Their leader doesn't sound like he's crazed or confused. He has an agenda and a voice to wield it.
Seen a lot of those times in my time.
Maybe we could still reason with him.
Barely holding together. One more, Guardian.
Protect our ascension!
Well now, that went, great.
You feed their greed, speak their human lies. Ionians want us truth blind, to keep the anomaly's sight from Elixir eyes. All suffer!
I came here thinking these elixirs were poisoned. It'd help. But this... like a bunch of holy rollers.
More exiles between you and the exit.
This Archon has a stranglehold on his people. They're gonna follow him right into the grave.
Guardian, down. This is the house's central refinery. My scans are going a little haywire, but that can't be right. These pipes are operating at alarming pressures.
Let me fill you in on a little secret. None of House Exile's gear has safety regulators. My kind of people